knock on our door.
Come and knock on our door.
We were waiting for
like,
you.
what are you doing?
Waiting for you.
With a kiss
It is time for Vibrant You.
Three's company.
I figured being three of you are coming in now, we had to change theme songs to go to something with three. So we're going Three's Company today. How's it going, everybody?
It's great.
Well, you just referenced me as Susan Summers, so I cannot complain.
Hey, listen, that's what I was going for. Come on, the blonde hair, that's what I was going for.
Randy knows what he's doing. This is
Yeah, you threw that at me like I didn't know what I was doing. Oh, as I look at Mrs. Roper. Oh, so it is Vibrant You time. I bet we've got just a scintillating topic today.
We do. So welcome to Vibrant You Live. Thank you, Randy. I am Jane.
I'm Nathan.
And I'm Bo.
And we are here all day. Haha, no. Anyway, so last week we talked about fixed wireless internet. And, you know, interestingly enough, we had a lot of phone calls on fixed wireless this week. So you guys are listening and calling. So thank you so much. This week we're going to be talking about email.
Yep. So we wanted to kind of do a little deep dive into email. I know a lot of people use email. Some people still don't use email. For those that don't, email is essentially an online mailbox. You think of your mailbox outside your house or apartment. This is basically a way to get, you know, advertisements or messages from friends or family, or there's a lot of different uses for email. But a lot of people have email. A lot of people have more than one email. You may have an email through your work. You may have a personal email. You may have multiple personal emails. So we kind of wanted to talk about email, some stuff to look for. You know, back in the day when internet providers became more of a thing and people were getting home internet, a lot of internet providers provided an email address because it was relatively new. There wasn't some of the great free providers that we have now. So a lot of people we talk to still have, you know, an email address that they've had for 10, 15, 20 years. Maybe they got it from their internet service provider at the time. But there are some advantages to some of the other even free options that may be better than the ones you got from your internet provider.
Yeah, and like Nathan's mentioned, some people have had this email for, you know, a long time. I've talked to people that have been using this internet service provided email for 10, 20 years. A lot of people want to maybe switch away, but what's holding them back is that email that they've had for a while. So we get that question on a day-to-day basis, and kind of what we like to recommend is, you know, some of the free options that are out there, such as Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, and those emails are much, much more common. One of the things I used to deal with a lot I used to work in the cell phone industry, is someone would get a new phone and have to put that email from their old service provider on their iPhone or their new Samsung, and it was just a nightmare. It took about maybe 30 minutes to an hour to get on there. Every time was a little tricky. So that's one of the benefits. If you have a Gmail or a Yahoo or an Outlook email, you know, it's so much easier to get it on your device, have it, you know, talk with maybe your computer or your tablet. And so there's a lot of benefits to getting one of those emails.
Yeah, I know some of the larger email providers that Bo mentioned, you know, your Gmails, your Outlooks, your Yahoos, those are pretty massive companies. They have a lot more, generally you'd see a lot more security, a lot more kind of spam filtering. You know, unfortunately in the day and age we have now, there's a lot of cybersecurity involved with emails. You know, there's a lot of fraudulent activity. So those companies, those bigger companies, they're going to be a lot better at protecting you and filtering some of the spam and doing some of that stuff. So if you got an internet, you know, email from your internet provider, you know, it might have been great at the time, but there are a lot more features you have access to and a lot more security features specifically that you can use now. Also, there's a lot more integration, like Bo mentioned, with you know, your cell phones and your computers. It's usually much easier to set up, to sync to a new phone, a lot more features you can use. So there are certainly a lot of benefits to getting, you know, one of those different free bigger emails.
Right. When I worked at my different company, I was there for over 15 years, and I used that email address for everything. And with me leaving there, it wasn't a surprise. So I had started to work on changing those email addresses to my Gmail account for quite a while. And you always forget just that one thing. And I was on vacation and we went to go do an Uber and it was connected to that email address. So my daughter.
I'm not getting the Uber, guys.
yeah.
Someone else is going to have to do it.
Take a taxi.
So
I guess.
So my daughter had to create an Uber account, and then I haven't gone back to deal with it yet. But anyways, it's just a hassle, and there's just so much more freedom, like you guys were saying about just creating a Gmail account, Yahoo account. But if you do decide to create a new account, the most important thing is. Once you get all of those new contacts into the new email address, you're going to want to send an email to your friends and family so that they're responding to that
up-to-date one.
Yep, up-to-date one and the new one. It's going to take a little bit of time, and don't get rid of your old email address right away. I know I've been working with a couple of people, and there's, like I said, with me forgetting my Uber account, there's just so many different things. It takes such a long time to get it taken care of. So just give yourself the opportunity and don't get rid of your old account.
Yeah, and we talk to people that want to get Vibrant, but they have this old email from their old provider, and they're concerned they'll lose access to that, and there's all kinds of, freedom is kind of taken away from you if you're strapped to an email that you're afraid of losing. Same with if you use your work email for everything. You may not work there forever. You may retire. You may get a different job. Well, you're going to have to do what Jane did, and you're going to have to get everything changed. So we always recommend having a personal email, maybe even, we recommend more than one personal email, and you can use one kind of for your kind of junk mail, one for your, more professional email, but we recommend having more than one at the same time. We also have a feature, Vibrant also has a feature called Tech Shield. We kind of want to highlight that too. So Tech Shield does, we provide it for free if you have on anything but our base package. It comes with it for free. And if you're on our base package, you can get it for $5.99 a month. But some of the benefits of Tech Shield is it does give you free antivirus and malware protection on your devices. And that's computers and cell phones. So if you are concerned about email, there is unfortunately fraud activity these days on the internet. So it'll protect you from a lot of that. And another thing, we talked about emails and logins. If you're like me and you have a lot of different passwords that you're trying to manage and remember, I can't remember all the passwords that I have. So Tech Shield has a password genie, which can keep all of your email and passwords for logins for your Netflix, for your Facebook, for your Amazon, for the millions of accounts that are out there. It'll help manage all of that. So those are free features that come with our Tech Shield. And, we recommend, we have some tips and tricks for passwords and emails, which Bo will talk about in a minute here as well.
Oh, and we're encouraging you to get a different email, an independent email from your current internet provider. Why? Just because if you do move, you can take it with you. Yeah. You're not restricted. Those are the Gmail, Yahoo, and Outlook accounts. You can check your email from anywhere, and they have great spam filters. Yeah, perfect. And then it's a good idea to sign up for more than one. I know I have a Yahoo account that I use for all of my social media, email, the kind of the junk mail part of my world. And then I also have a Gmail account, and that's the one that I use if I have an e-bill or something that's going to that email. So it's the important stuff that I pay attention to.
Yeah, and there's a lot of tips and tricks to managing your email account and your passwords. Like Jane mentioned, having multiple accounts it's really important, and it's something we recommend for, when you're signing up for maybe an offer online where you get, 15, 20% off. You don't have to give them your main email. You can give them that secondary email, so when they email you offers every single day, not something that you have to check on your personal email. You can kind of filter out the important emails and the ones that maybe aren't so important. And a lot of people get tied up with, hey, I have so many emails coming in that I just don't want. So you can actually unsubscribe to them. If you scroll down on pretty much any email, there's a little section that says unsubscribe. So I took time the other day. I just unsubscribed to so many. And now instead of having, 50 emails a day, it's down to like 15. So I can prioritize the things I actually want to look at. So I would highly recommend doing that. And, with email accounts come passwords. There's so many passwords. And I haven't met one person that's like, you know what I really love? Passwords.
Yeah.
I love
they come up with new ones. Remembering them is my favorite thing.
So good. I wish I had more, actually. And, like Nathan mentioned, TechShield comes with the Password Genie. So it's a great way to get everything in one spot. But we also have tips and tricks when you're making passwords. Biggest one, don't use the word password as your password.
It's surprisingly not that secure.
Not really, no. Or 1,
And
2,
it's
3,
more
4, 5.
common than you think.
Yeah. If you want to have a laugh, go and look up top 10 most commonly used passwords, and you'll find that. You'll find a bunch of them. Maybe just don't use those top 10 or those top 20. Keep it a little bit more secure than that. And then another thing that's become more common now is called two-step authentication. And really what that is when you log into maybe your social media account, your bank account.
Your bank account, yeah.
Bank account's a big one. It's actually going to text you a link saying, hey, you're logging in at this device at this time. Is that you? So if you get someone logging in at a different state, obviously you can say, no, that's not me. It's one big way to avoid the headache of getting your account compromised. So if you can use two-step authentication, we definitely recommend it.
Yeah, and I would just recommend planning ahead. Like Jane mentioned, she had some notification that she was going to be changing jobs, so she started planning ahead. My father-in-law is retiring here in the fall, and I know he only has his work email. So a project of mine is helping him get a different personal email and started getting a lot of this stuff transferred ahead of time. So if you're currently, you only use your work email, you only use your internet service provider's email, it's a good idea to start weeding some of that and getting onto one of these bigger platforms that add more security and more freedom to use it anywhere. So, and then if, we always like to highlight, if you have more questions about emails, about passwords, if you have a book of all your passwords at home and you're worried about losing it and you want to maybe use TechShield or get some advice on how to do that stuff, absolutely, reach out to us. We have an email account set up for questions on topics, or if you have an interest in a different topic that we haven't talked about Vibrant or about the internet or internet products, absolutely email us at vibrantulive@meeker.coop. That's Vibrant, the letter U, LIVE at meeker.coop.
And we haven't gotten an email yet, so
that's because we're answering everyone's question.
That's right.
On the radio.
Covering all
well,
these
send us an email and we'll give it to you live on the radio.
And a lot of people just pick up the phone and call us if they have a question, which is we always welcome that as well.
Yeah. You can always reach us at the office. Our number here is 320-693-3231. And you can always catch us live here at KLFD every Wednesday at 10:30.
And you can go to our website, vibrantbroadband.com.
Yep, or check our Facebook page. If you missed part of today's, or you want to listen back to a previous, radio program, we always air those put them on our Facebook page the next day on Thursdays, and we have them all archived, so you can go back and listen to all of them. We'd like to thank Randy and KLFD for having us. You guys all for listening. Like we said, the last couple of weeks, we've been getting a lot of calls and feedback from listeners, and we always appreciate that. So thanks for having us, Randy. My name's Nathan.
I'm Jane.
And I'm Bo.
And none of us are related, brothers or sisters. But tune in next Wednesday for another Vibrant U Live.
And Three's Company.
And they don't live together either.
No, not yet. We're thinking about getting a place.
Come and knock on our door.
Come and knock on our door.
We've been waiting for you.
Been waiting for you.
Vibrant Broadband. It's snorting fast.